Imagine the most chaotic team in DC Comics thrown into a world of monsters, orcs, and magic. That's exactly what Suicide Squad Isekai delivers, and it's as wild as you think. What happens when DC's most unpredictable anti-heroes get transported to a fantasy world full of magic and monsters? Suicide Squad Isekai is here to answer that question with a mind-bending mix of dark humor, intense action, and unexpected character development. This blending of genres provides a fresh and exciting take on both the characters and the setting, making it a unique addition to both the DC universe and the isekai genre. From the moment the first episode aired, the series garnered attention for its bold storytelling and stunning animation. Suicide Squad Isekai is an ambitious crossover between the gritty world of DC Comics' Suicide Squad and the fantastical tropes of isekai anime. Produced by Wit Studio and directed by Eri Osada, the series takes familiar characters like Harley Quinn, Deadshot, and King Shark and throws them into a brand new setting that combines magic, monsters, and the madness we expect from Task Force X. The seamless shift from Gotham's gritty streets to a lush, magical world sets the tone for the story. The series kicks off with a bang as Harley Quinn and the squad find themselves transported to a mysterious and magical world. The first episode does an excellent job of setting the stage, introducing the new rules of the isekai world, and establishing the dynamics between the characters. As the Joker and Harley Quinn wreak havoc in Gotham City, they are attacked by Argus agents. Joker escapes in his very odd piano-steered car. Harley is defeated and captured by Kana. Meanwhile, Amanda Waller oversees the opening of a portal to another world. 6 months later, Waller tasks Belle Reve inmates, Harley, Deadshot, Clayface, Peacemaker, and King Shark, entering it to collect resources. She implants time bombs in their necks that will explode in 72 hours unless they receive a signal from her regularly. The squad enters the portal, their helicopter crashes, and they are ambushed by orcs and an army of knights. Despite repelling the orcs, they are captured by knights and taken to a prison fortress. The transition from Gotham to a lush magical world is executed flawlessly. Harley Quinn's witty remarks are spot on, although the Joker's maniacal laughter didn't sit well with me. I don't particularly like his voice actor. I'm used to Mark Hamill's representation of the Joker. Regardless, it felt like a decent extension of their characters. The combination of dark humor and fantasy elements created an intriguing start that left me eager for more. Moving on to the dynamics of the strange new world, the second episode dives into the intricacies of the other world that the Suicide Squad must call home. This is easier said than done as the show throws hurdle after hurdle in front of the characters. The episode tests the group dynamics, creating a tug of war between their self-sabotaging tendencies and self-preservation. Wherever they go, this uncouth band of supervillains always seems to find themselves in trouble. Fittingly, they end up in jail again. Clayface in particular is highlighted as he tries to escape. The squad's attempts to keep him from leaving lead to a whole ruckus that ends with them locked in detention. They can't help but shoot themselves in the foot, which builds tension before a wacky release. Harley, Deadshot, Peacemaker, Clayface, and King Shark team up for one of the most ambitious musical numbers in an anime, maiming and killing their way through the prison castle. Harley is back to her homicidal tendency, and Deadshot starts to loosen up in the chaos. The concept of the multiverse has existed in DC Comics for some time now, but entering the isekai genre takes things in a new direction, where might and monsters rule. The squad's dynamic remains rooted in their familiarity, but the backdrop amplifies the stake. By entering the isekai genre, Suicide Squad Isekai welcomes viewers to a world where the only characters out of their depth are Amanda Waller's Task Force X bringing guns to a magic battle. Despite the grim premise, the mix of dark humor, gritty anti-hero attitudes, and fantastical setting works perfectly, providing a refreshing blend that stands out in both genres. The show's third episode leans further into the genre, teasing upcoming conflicts and offering more detailed world building. The monarchy is introduced, a corrupt and brutal power structure where the rich live in castles in the sky and the poor suffer below. It's a clear allegory to our own world, providing social commentary that hits close to home. Over time, the team finds themselves working together better as the circumstances grow dire. Their growth from self-sabotaging rogues to a semi-cohesive unit is a strong undercurrent in the story. In episode 3, we see them don their full attire, ready for action as a united front. There's a moment where Peacemaker shines in his own bizarre way, and King Shark chomps down on foes, evoking early Hulk vibes. The growing bond between Harley and the Princess Fiona, introduced as a sheltered royal, also becomes significant. Fiona's rebellious nature and the dynamic she shares with Harley hints at deeper narrative layers that suggest she could become this world's version of Harley Quinn. As for some things I liked, the transition of Suicide Squad characters into a fantasy world is brilliantly handled, with each member's personality shining through in the new setting. Harley Quinn's witty remarks and the group's chaotic energy perfectly fit the Isekai genre, making the crossover an incredibly fun watch. The blend of DC grit with fantasy was also effective, as it gave familiar elements a new twist. Some things I disliked the Joker's portrayal, particularly the voice acting didn't quite match up to Mark Hamill's iconic performance. While this isn't necessarily bad, it does feel less impactful for those used to Hamill's Joker. Maybe it will grow on me. There are also moments when the pacing drags a bit. Some fight scenes, like the first Katana and Harley Quinn fight, lacked the intensity and flair that fans of Suicide Squad might expect, although they did get better later in the series. Some episodes could benefit from tighter pacing, especially in action scenes. The fight choreography sometimes lacks the intensity expected from a Suicide Squad story, and more dynamic visuals could make the sequences more compelling. Additionally, some world-building elements, like the hierarchy of the fantasy world, could be more fleshed out. The squad finds themselves in a new, unfamiliar world after being transported through a portal. They must navigate through a series of challenges involving knights, orcs, and powerful rulers, all while attempting to survive the countdown on their explosive neck implants. The stakes grow higher as they uncover the corrupt power structures of this strange world and grapple with their shifting dynamics as a team. Bright colors and animation styles shine during chaotic action sequences, emphasizing the madness inherent in the squad's adventures. The soundtrack amplifies the mood in every scene, from upbeat scores during chaotic brawls to somber melodies that highlight the grim reality of their situation. Kenichiro Suehiro's work helps keep the energy consistent throughout each episode, with a particularly strong showing during the musical number in episode 2. Harley Quinn is the perfect anti-heroine for an isekai setting. Her chaotic approach to problem-solving fits well into a magical world that doesn't operate on the logic of Gotham. The concept of the Queen being potentially corrupt sets up a unique challenge for the squad. It's interesting to see a group of villains navigate the politics of a monarchy and adapt to a different type of power structure. Clayface constantly breaking the fourth wall by calling out isekai tropes is both entertaining and clever. It helps tie the anime back to its genre roots while keeping the tone light. The cliffhanger involving Princess Fiona and Harley potentially switching roles, or Fiona finding her own dark side, offers a promising setup for future episodes. The growing mystery around the monarchy and the emerging allegiances suggests more plot twists ahead. The introduction of classic fantasy elements like dragons, magic weapons, and beastmen added a layer of richness to the action, allowing the characters to explore their own limits in new and unexpected ways. The Enchantress subplot adds an intriguing twist, one that isn't fully resolved, but provides a tantalizing hint of what's to come. Is she on their side, or simply using the squad for her own ends? The third episode marks a noticeable shift in the squad's teamwork. The change from selfish motives to a bit of genuine camaraderie isn't entirely straightforward, but watching it unfold adds depth to the group's interactions. Suicide Squad Isekai is an inventive twist on both the DC universe and the isekai genre. Its combination of dark humor, fantasy elements, and character-driven chaos makes for a refreshing experience. The squad's growth from selfish criminals to a functional team is surprisingly heartwarming, while the unpredictable plot keeps viewers on their toes. The series may not be perfect, There are pacing issues, and the visuals can be hit or miss. But it certainly brings a fresh energy to both genres, with a cliffhanger that promises even more Joker-centered madness. Here's hoping for a thrilling season 2.